we want it? Now! What do we want? Evidence! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Evidence! Yeah, exactly.
That's part of the
Hey guys, I'm Zach Previn. I don't even go to UVM. This is my girlfriend Allison. She's a UVM student getting her PhD, and a lot of the things the administration are doing right now, it's just not good. Cutting funding, that's not it. They're trying to communicate the wrong things, the false agendas. They're trying to limit the type of stuff we can say in research. That just shouldn't be allowed. We need free, open communication and research. We need real funding. It's very important. And what the administration is doing is not right, and they're straight up lying to them. So that's what we're here for.
Do you know anyone whose job is threatened or whose project or research is threatened specifically?
Unfortunately, the futures of many students here are and can be threatened by this.
And incoming PhD students, a lot of applicants applying this cycle have received acceptances only to be have those acceptances withdrawn due to lack of funding, unfortunately. And a lot of faculty and PIs are unable to take new students due to the uncertainty of funding in the future, essentially.
I see.
So we're just here to bring attention to that and hopefully make a change.
So there's a couple hundred people here. Do you know any of the other people here?
I do, yeah. We have a couple of faculty and students out here from very many different departments and divisions of different institutions on campus and some off campus. So I can't speak to everybody, but I do know some people.
These funding cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These funding cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These funding cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These funding cuts have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These funding cuts have got to go.
Yeah. No, I do.
Yeah. Full circle. Wow, look at that. Hey, hey.
Ho, ho. These funding cuts have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These funding cuts have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These funding cuts have got to go.
Rainbow House, that's awesome.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I figured it's fine.
30 official.
So if they cut the science funding,
What's exactly that?
So now I have to do it.
oh,
Because they're like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and like hopefully they don't have a lot of criticism. Nice motorcycle driver.
data.
There's my man. Thanks for putting me on the cover. Appreciate it.
I mean, that is very generous.
To be fair,
I am able to transfer a lot.
Well, we're out here making the statement that science is very important, it's crucial
Yeah.
to our world, and that we believe that the funding cuts to NIH and other scientific organizations are wrong. So I'm a little late to the game, so there is an organization, but I'm afraid I don't know too much about it. There are actually these events happening all over the country, and there's a very large event happening in Washington, D.C. as we speak.
And so have you heard of anyone that has actually had their funding threatened or their research threatened or their job threatened?
Yes, I was just talking to a gentleman in the march who had his funding cut off. He does research in it, and it was cut off and it was rescinded, but it created a lot of chaos. And so I'm very concerned about these cuts. I've also heard someone I work with, a friend of hers was actually a patient in a clinical trial for cancer. So she was getting an experimental drug for cancer, and she was told she couldn't come anymore and get any more doses because the funding was cut.
I see. Do you know if the UVM administration is doing anything? Have they established like a task force to study it, or?
I couldn't say. I'm at UVM Medical Center. I don't know about UVM.
Okay.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that makes America great is that we are the primary source of medical research and much other research for the world. The research done in the United States has had a huge impact on the entire world, saved countless lives, advanced cancer research, many chronic diseases, infectious diseases. We are the bastion of scientific advancement for the world, and that is one of the things that makes America great. And so I don't understand this idea from MAGA that taking funding away from scientific research is going to make America even greater.
Well, I'd like to start out by just thanking everyone that came out to support us today. There's a lot of people that just showed up from Burlington, as well as people from all over campus. One of the main points I want to make today is that every dollar of NIH funds produces $2.50 of economic activity, and it cures diseases and will eventually, hopefully, lower the cost of health insurance, which is really killing us right now. And it cures diseases, and it's a no-brainer. We got to keep funding the NIH.
So how did this demonstration occur? No one seems to know who organized it.
It was us, myself and Molly and a few others. So there were some people passing around emails about the National Stand Up for Science protest, which last took place in 2016, and it took us a while to figure out what we were going to do in Vermont. Unfortunately, in the national organization, they got overwhelmed, I think, so they shut down the window for adding that to their map. But there are protests all over the country right now, at this very time. We quickly put something together. It was a bit late to get permits and so on, so we decided just taking a walk in public space would be the best thing about it. And we also wanted to stay very focused on this one important issue of funding for the NIH.
So do you know of anyone at UVM who's actually lost their job or their funding or their research?
Well, not yet, but I will say that having this over our heads, even those of us who've been fortunate enough to get funding, not knowing if they're going to cut it, that's really hard to keep going. But we're helping each other in that regard and keeping our morale up. My students really helped me a lot. But there are people that got very high scores on grants. They stopped study sections. Some of them are still happening, some are not. It's not known when they're going to pick up again. That's really tough. We don't know. We have grants now. For how long, we don't know. And if we can keep getting grants, that's in doubt right now. And it's tough.
The random cutting of funds from the NSF, NIH, and other programs has caused universities to have to anticipate the loss of resources and put a hiring freeze on UVM and dozens of other institutions. Consequently, postdocs and faculty that are hired cannot be hired effectively. They've been recruited, but they cannot come. That's happening right now today. So there are postdoctoral positions that are not being filled because of this suspense and uncertainty from Washington. That's impacting directly research programs today, and that will ripple throughout. We're going to actually have a missing generation in the scientific pipeline, if you will, of trained expert scientists. And that will last for years and years to come unless this gets corrected quickly.
So have you heard about the administration of the school or the hospital putting together a task force to look into the situation?
Absolutely. The administration at UVM and the faculty senate are definitely in discussion about how to manage the uncertain environment that we're in right now. That has led to this suspense in hiring that will last for a few months at least. But the big problem is it's not known what will develop. Every day seems different. And another big issue is that I heard this morning that a lot of effort is to privatize these activities, including science, and you simply cannot privatize science. There are industries that certainly develop scientific research, pharmaceutical companies, ag chemicals, etc., but the academic and research institutions are essential for those company-developed resources. So that pipeline will be interrupted, and effectively the U.S. is being thrown back decades in terms of its status in science today. And that will take decades to recover from. So this is a disaster.
Science, because figuring things out is better than making stuff up.
American research protects American lands and saves American lives.
Stand up for science! Science saves lives!